Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to another Indie Game Friday. This week we're going to take a look at Hyper Light Drifter, an action indie adventure / RPG light in a pixel graphic style. Developed and published by Heart Machine, it was released on Steam on March 31st, 2016, and is available on Steam and GOG.com for $19.99, though it has a discount during the first week of release. This game was recommended to me by a friend, and after a brief glance at a video, I was readily convinced to pick it up. It starts with a non-verbal introduction sequence in an absolutely beautiful pixel art style that sets the tone of the game ahead. Some great catastrophe has fallen upon this world, and a lone warrior has been set into the ruins to piece things together. Along the way, he will encounter dangerous creatures and allies scattered throughout the ruins of a civilization that seems to have fallen quite a bit longer ago than the initial introduction would hint at. This game is listed as an RPG, but it's only an RPG in the way that The Legend of Zelda kind of maybe is, with far more focus on the action and adventure aspects. However, it has an in-depth story told through non-verbal cutscenes and imagery that, while it may take a little while to truly understand, is done so beautifully that I couldn't help but get into it in all of its stylized glory. The music is decent, the sound effects fitting. It has controller support, and believe me, you'll probably want it, because this game is challenging. Brutally so. The controls are very responsive, and the animations and reactions really feel on the nose, giving weight and impact to your actions. The combat system gives a few major options. Your character has a basic sword, which they can swing in the direction that they're facing, but they also have an ability to teleport or rush a short distance in a certain direction by hitting a button. This can be used to close in or retreat from enemies, to dodge attacks, and to transfer over gaps or up ladders, or even to bypass or rush past traps. There is a ranged attack, which you aim and fire with the trigger buttons by default. You have a limited number of shots, but you can refill your ammunition by attacking things, either the scenery, a lot of which is breakable, or enemies. Finally, you can use health packs. You can carry up to 3 of these, and simply hit a button to regain all of your health, which is represented by a green bar at the upper left part of the screen, at least when the UI is active. When you die, you simply return to the start of the major screen that you're in, and everything is reset to what it was when you first entered. The game proceeds through an open, expansive world that is at once a joy and a terror to explore. There are traps and enemies liberally sprinkled about, as well as puzzles that involve uncovering old technologies amongst the ruins and reactivating them. Every section has a teleport pad that can be unlocked, which will allow you to return to the area in question. There are secrets sprinkled here and there, and lifts that drop you down to dungeon-style areas amongst the ruins. They contain their own share of dangerous enemies and traps. As you progress, you can apparently pick up further equipment, upgrade your weapons, and learn new skills. I didn't get this far, unfortunately, due to the aforementioned challenge, but having had a taste of this game, I am definitely coming back to it on my own time. The difficulty bears noting again. Each enemy bears a different strategy to approach, and they often come in packs, and quite often of mixed types, just to provide the enemies an optimal tactical advantage. Add to this the fact that there are many traps and hazards in this game, and they quite often force you into close proximity with these packs of enemies, thus limiting your own options. And suddenly, even the most idyllic-looking clearing can turn into a bloodbath. My intention was to play to the first boss, which I assume is the skull marked on the map, but an hour and a half into the game and I was maybe halfway there, and unfortunately ran out of time for purposes of this review. The world is relatively open and expansive in the way that, say, a Dark Souls game or a Zelda franchise world game would be. You will probably be backtracking through areas a few times until you get a sense for where things you need to unlock are, and even afterwards if you're someone who likes ferreting out all those secret areas. The world itself is so beautifully done, however, that I really didn't feel like it was that much of a chore to do so, at least in the time that I played. All in all, this is a gorgeous, deep, and challenging game that really deserves more time than I was able to devote to it for this review. I seriously believe it'll be one of those classic indie games in years to come. It has drawn comparisons to other classic games of years past in a good way, and I think that those comparisons are definitely warranted. If you enjoy this sort of game, I will put links into the description below where you can go ahead and purchase it. For now, this has been the RPG Crawler with Indie Game Friday. If you like what you've seen, please remember to leave a like, comment if you have any feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content. Until next time, take care and goodbye.